It was the kind of shot that defies belief, the kind of athletic spectacle that rewrites the limits of possibility on a tennis court. Center court at Wimbledon, the cathedral of tennis, fell into a stunned silence for a split second before erupting. Defending champion Iga Swiatek, the world's most dominant force, stood frozen, disbelief etched across her face. She had just witnessed something she had never seen before, a horizontal forehand. The shot, executed by the 21-year-old Filipina sensation Alex Eala, was not just a winner. It was a statement. It was a declaration that on this sun-drenched London afternoon, the status quo was about to be shattered. This chapter in Wimbledon history was not just about an upset. It was about the birth of a new icon and a moment of sheer brilliance that will be replayed for decades. A single stroke that encapsulated the heart of a champion who refuses to concede a single point, no matter the circumstance. As we dissect this monumental clash, we will examine not just the physics of that impossible shot, but the journey that led Eala to this defining moment, the tactical masterclass that dismantled Swiatek's game, and what this seismic victory means for the future of tennis. To truly understand the magnitude of Alex Eala's victory and the sheer audacity of that horizontal forehand, we must trace the arc of her remarkable journey. The tennis world first took serious notice of the left-hander from the Philippines during her stunning run to the semifinals of the Miami Open last year. On that hard court, she served notice by defeating Swiatek in straight sets, a result that sent shockwaves through the sport and announced the arrival of a new force. Since then, Eala has been on a steady, inexorable rise, climbing the rankings and proving that her victory was no fluke. By the time she arrived at the All-England Club in 2026, Eala was no longer a wild-card curiosity. Seated 29th, a testament to her consistency and improvement, she was armed with a game that former world number 1 Kim Clijsters described as making opponents very uncomfortable. Clijsters, a 4-time Grand Slam champion, astutely noted Eala's unique ability to disrupt rhythm. As a left-hander, her patterns are naturally difficult to read, but Clijsters pinpointed the true source of her power. The combination of her aggressive baseline game and her ability to hit a heavier spin and make your opponent step back a little bit behind the baseline, being able to make the angle with her forehand and open up the court. This tactical intelligence, combined with great stamina and growing mental growth, shaped Eala into a formidable opponent on any surface. Her journey to the center court showdown was paved with confidence-building victories. After a hard-fought win against a qualifier, she dismantled former Wimbledon finalist Karolina Pliskova, showcasing her ability to perform against the game's elite. Swiatek herself had acknowledged Eala's potential, having survived a debut scare against the Filipina at the Madrid Open in 2025, escaping with a 3-set victory. However, that clay court battle, where Eala was up a set and a break, revealed a crucial truth. The teenager could go toe-to-toe with the 5-time Grand Slam champion. The stage was set for their third encounter, a Wimbledon rematch that would prove to be a dramatic tiebreaker in their young rivalry. The atmosphere on center court was electric, a cauldron of expectation as defending champion Iga Swiatek faced the woman who had beaten her in Miami. The match began as a gladiatorial contest, a high-octane first set where both players gave no quarter. Swiatek, who had been battling inconsistency in the lead-up, found herself in a dogfight. Eala, however, was unfazed. Her powerful baseline shot-making, particularly from her lethal backhand, immediately put Swiatek on the back foot. It was clear from the outset that this would not be the foregone conclusion many had expected. The pole started to show signs of frustration as Eala's aggressive play and relentless defense forced her into errors. This frustration boiled over after she lost a grueling first set in a tiebreak, 11-9. Swiatek, a player who prides herself on mental fortitude, was seen smiling at the end of the set, but the smile quickly vanished as she began, shouting at her entourage in the stands, before slamming her racket on a chair. This visible display of emotion was a clear indication of the immense pressure Eala was exerting. The tiebreak itself was a microcosm of the match, a battle of wills where every point was a war. Swiatek saved multiple set points, displaying her champion's heart, But Eala, as the match analysis would later show, was simply more brave in important moments. Eala's ability to seize the critical points was the backbone of her victory. Where Swiatek had failed to convert 6 break points in the opening set, Eala, as she had done in Miami, was clinical, breaking serve when it mattered most. Her resilience was a testament to her training and mental growth. As Kleisters observed, despite her youth, we see the mental growth as well. The second set was a coronation of that growth. Eala ramped up the pressure, earning a double break to race to a 4-0 lead. Swiatek, a 5-time major champion, fought back, retrieving a break to show signs of life, but Eala refused to wilt. She broke serve again to snuff out the comeback attempt and delivered the knockout blow. And then came the moment that defined the match, the moment that will be etched in Wimbledon lore. Deep in the heart of the contest, with the pressure at its zenith, Eala found herself scrambling for a ball that seemed destined to be a winner for Swiatek. In a desperate lunge, she slipped, her body falling hard and awkwardly towards the grass. In any ordinary scenario, the point would be lost, the player conceding the point to prepare for the next one. But for Alexandra Eala, giving up on a point is not in her vocabulary. As she fell, her horizontal body parallel to the ground, Eala did something extraordinary. With her racket extended, she managed to whip an awkward, stunning forehand winner while essentially lying flat on her back. It was a shot of pure instinct, athletic brilliance, and unyielding determination. Tennis photographers and commentators alike were left speechless, with one observer famously dubbing it the horizontal forehand. The image of that moment, the sheer desperation turned into perfection, immediately went viral, a perfect snapshot of Eala's never-say-die attitude. The significance of the shot, however, transcends its aesthetic beauty. It was a psychological hammer blow. While Swiatek technically won the point, the sheer audacity of the effort seemed to rattle the defending champion's momentum. It was a message. No matter what you throw at me, I will find a way. It was a testament to a fighting spirit that had been honed from her earliest days, when she trained on a court in the Philippines that also served as a basketball court, where she had to avoid hitting the hoops. This grit, this refusal to accept defeat, is what separates the good from the great. It was this moment that seemed to drain the last vestiges of resistance from Swiatek, who faltered shortly after. The horizontal forehand wasn't just a highlight reel play. It was the physical embodiment of Eala's victory, a stunning, improbable feat of athleticism that left a world champion stunned and a nation in awe. When Eala finally sealed the match with a forehand winner on her third match point, she collapsed to her knees and rolled onto her back in a mixture of shock and triumph, absorbing the roar of a crowd that included many waving Philippine flags. The final scoreline, 7-6-9, 6-2, was a historic result for more reasons than one. It was not just an upset. It was a coronation. With this victory, Alexandra Eala became the first Filipino player in history, male or female, to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam singles tournament. The victory was a landmark for a nation where tennis is often overshadowed by basketball and boxing. For the 120 million people back home, Eala had become a national heroine, a beacon of hope and pride. Her achievement resonated far beyond the tennis court. In the Philippines, children stayed up late to watch, and young aspiring tennis players saw a reflection of their own dreams. A 14-year-old girl, Maristela Torrecampo, told the BBC that Eala inspired her to chase her own Wimbledon dream, a testament to the legacy she is already building. The government responded with a hero's welcome, hosting a reception at Malacanang Palace, where Eala humbly stated, "This is our victory." A resolution was filed in the Senate commending her for proving that Filipino athletes are world-class. For her part, Swiatek was gracious in defeat, acknowledging that Eala was simply better in the vital moments. The win extended Eala's head-to-head lead to 2-1, with all 3 matches being fiercely contested battles. More importantly, it propelled her into the second week of Wimbledon, setting up a 4th-round clash with 2024 runner-up Jasmine Paolini. Her journey from Grand Slam junior champion to the world's top 30 has been meteoric, yet Eala remains grounded. She left the court with a message for her fans back home. "I'm so grateful that I am able to share my triumphs with the country." The victory at Wimbledon was more than a personal triumph. It was a historical milestone that has forever changed the face of Philippine sports and announced Alex Eala as a new star of the global tennis stage.